Hello again, everyone. I'm Lyndall Stout. September was certainly a busy month, and October will mean even more producers are sowing wheat. So kicking things off today is Dr. Brian Arnall, our OSU Extension Soil Nutrient Management Specialist.
Grain drills are running across the state of Oklahoma, putting winter wheat in the ground, whether it's for graze-out or dual purpose. We're not quite ready for grain-only planting yet, but we're getting awfully close to that time as we're edging up into October. As we're going through the fields right now, my advice for farmers is, one, if you're growing for grazing or dual purpose, which a lot of folks are with cattle prices, make sure that we have some fertility down. So I want to see 40 to 50 pounds of nitrogen down pre-plant, or even after you sow, which is perfectly fine. I'd also say make sure you know your pH, because that pH is really going to impact your total forage production in a forage system. If your pH is low, you need to make sure that it's too late to lime, so we need to make sure that we're getting some phosphorus in furrow to combat that aluminum toxicity we get with low pH. Now, phosphorus source does matter when it comes to battling pH or alleviating that aluminum toxicity. We find that 1846O, or DAP, diammonium phosphate, performs better than 1152O in acid soils. That's because 1846O dissolves at a higher pH, and so it's able to compensate for a little bit of acidity, while 1152O, MAP, is going to dissolve in acidic soil, so it tends to bind up a little bit quicker than DAP. So if you get the option for source, go for that DAP over MAP if you're combating acidity right now. If you're just looking for phosphorus, then get that source that works best for you. Typically for our grain-only producers, we find very little value of in-furrow nitrogen. And also, even for those that are doing forage, adding urea in furrow tends to be a risky venture, as we've seen a lot of research show that as I add urea, we lose stand. That's because urea first is a salt, and so salt next to the seed isn't a good thing. And then urea converts from urea to ammonia. So the first conversion that prill has is ammonia gas. And so if there's a seedling emerging near that urea prill, it will damage it. So we do see stand loss. So I know it takes an extra pass, but I much prefer producers put out urea as a broadcast, either pre or post, instead of blending it in with the seed. We just don't see any return on investment for having urea in furrow. Make sure that you're covering your ground. If your pH and phosphorus is low, make sure you account for both. Low pH, I want 30 or 40 pounds of phosphorus in furrow just for the pH. So if your soil test recommends that you need 30 pounds P2O5 for your low soil test phosphorus, that means you need to be looking at 60 pounds of phosphorus in furrow. So make sure you add them both up. It's not one or the other, it is an additive solution. And as we move into October and our grain-only producers are starting to think about sowing in that mid to late October time frame, remember what I always say, don't worry about nitrogen for our grain-only wheat. We don't need that forage production. And across the board, whether you're graze-out, dual purpose, or grain-only, remember our enriched strip approach, where you could put out a nitrogen-rich strip now, regardless of what you're working in, and it can tell you in the future whether you're going to benefit from added nitrogen in season. For more information, check out sunup.okstate.edu.